Yeah, man, I got a strong neck. I don't see none of this bother me too much. So, I mean, whatever you want to do. Oh, strong neck, right? Yeah. DRP Talks, coming with you from Gamblers Jujitsu and Kickboxing. Here we go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with another video with DRP Talks. Those of you who are new, my name is Donald Russell, owner of DRP Fitness and Health. I'm a former athlete, current personal trainer, and what I like to do is talk to entrepreneurs, business owners, and professionals about the health and fitness industry. Today, we're gonna be meeting with my guy, Mike Cipriani, and my other guy, Jarrod Anderson, who are owners of Gamblers Jujitsu and Kickboxing Club. Today we're going to learn about the mental, the physical, self-defense, and just being alert in general. There's a family environment in here. You guys are going to love it. We got some live action, and you get to see me and what I can do, which you may laugh, but don't laugh. DRP Talks, baby. We're coming. All right, DRP family. We're here with my guy, Jarrod Anderson, Mike Cipriani, owners of Gamblers Jujitsu and Kickboxing. Guys, I appreciate you for having me out here. Can you just tell me a little bit about it? You know, what you guys offer, who you are, when did you guys get started? You know, 'cause I know you guys are business partners. I know you guys came into this together. So, you know, how did you guys get started?
Well, basically, the name Gamblers has been around the family for 50 years, since back in Brooklyn.
Okay.
My cousins were called the Gamblers, and they were very successful in football, baseball, softball, multiple championships. Then as they got older, we were the next generation, so they coached us and we were the Gamblers, and it's kind of like escalated like that. Then we coached my younger cousins and they coached the other younger cousins. So
Yeah.
when I came here to Florida, we started playing rec baseball. And then as we got into travel, I said, you know what, I'm gonna revive that gambler name. So I made my son's team the Gamblers, and I ended up sponsoring another 7-8 teams from here to New Jersey. And basically, we followed with Gamblers Jujitsu and Kickboxing since Jarrod and I know each other 10 years now.
Okay, wow.
We started training at the same spot.
Yeah.
We trained under the same professor at the time. Got disenchanted somewhat, and we ended up together here.
Oh, no, excellent. Now, Jarrod, you started off in, was it MMA that you started off?
I started off, I grew up in Minnesota, and then I moved down here in 2009 to pursue a career in fighting and jiu-jitsu because I was, after watching like the UFC started to get big, I was like, you know what, I want to do that. And then as soon as I moved down here, I started training under the Noguera brothers at Team Noguera, and it just, I fell in love with jiu-jitsu. And so then in 2012, I ended up moving back down here and started teaching full-time.
Gotcha. Now, jiu-jitsu and gambling. So what am I going to expect today? What are we going to see today? I know we're going to see a lot of things, but what is it when people come in and they want to learn about jiu-jitsu? What are some of the things that you kind of, you know, help them understand about it?
Well, the first thing is the name, because I believe the name is a novelty. Like I said, it means something to me. It's been in my family a long time, right? So people should not associate Gamblers with us promoting gambling in any way. We believe you need to take chances in life, right?
Absolutely.
So that's where the Gamblers came from. You got to take chances. You got to take risks. Nothing's going to come hit you in the lap, right? So with that being said, and the baseball blossomed, we were recognized all over the world, all over the country. We played international tournaments, won that. You know, it was a big accomplishment for me to be able to give back to kids. And with that, you know, came the clothing line, which I just got trademarked.
Oh, this is excellent.
So I will be getting Gamblers with some nice quotes on the back. Take chances in life. Don't ever wait for anything. Go get it. You know, gamble, but don't gamble your life away.
Exactly.
Things like that. But as far as the facility, we're predominantly a jiu-jitsu facility with some weights upstairs for personal training, some strength conditioning, and we evolved into cardio kickboxing, which Professor Jarrod runs, and we also have some MMA fighters in and out of here. We have Dean Thomas, who's with ATT. Dean Thomas comes in here with his students to get some rolling reps in. You know, Jillian Robertson, who fights for UFC. We love her to death. So Professor Jarrod can take you through the rest.
Yeah, so like the first biggest part of jiu-jitsu is obviously people they want to learn how to fight, right? They want to learn how to defend themselves, and so your first initial experience is going to be going over simple things that are going to apply to like a day-to-day, God forbid someone attacks you on the street.
Absolutely.
But after that, like after the self-defense phase of jiu-jitsu, blossoms into an entire sport of jiu-jitsu, which some people don't want to compete, but when you start training, you start to kind of ignite that competitive spirit, so to speak. And so that's why we have here in our school alone, we have over 10 black belts who compete at the highest levels of the sport, and we've also got a ton of younger talent, lower ranked talent who, I mean, we get professional fighters who fight in the UFC who come in here and train with our blue belts, and they're like, shit, this kid just kicked my ass.
Exactly.
And so we're very blessed, and Mike's very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Enthusiastic?
No, not enthusiastic, yes, but he gives back so much to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so it's like we bring in high-level talent all the time, from black belt world champions to professional fighters to come and help all of us get better.
All right. So Mike, is there anybody you would like to give a shout out to? Anybody who who's helped you along the way?
First of all, I'd like to give a huge shout out to our Professor Johnny out in Alliance San Diego. This guy is an incredible man. He's had our back from day one, and even though he's part of Alliance, San Diego, he allows us to fly our own flag. I don't consider us a team. I consider us a family.
Absolutely.
So Gamblers is a family, it's not a team. Because we sponsor athletes that belong to other teams. They'll wear our rash guard, they'll wear our patch. So I'd like to consider us more of a family than a team. But under the same roof, we have some amazing talent. We have two individuals, Amanda Tubby Aliquin, and Eric Aliquin, world champions in their own right. And they're our partners. They come along with a bunch of students not so long ago, and it just increased the bodies in here, the training bodies, the talent that came along with them. And we've been friendly for years. Eric started with Jarrod and I back in the day. Phenomenal athlete. Amanda, she's number 2 right now in the world in her division.
Oh wow, great.
She needs her props.
Yeah.
We love them, and we're glad they're part of the family with us.
Oh, excellent. Well, I'm glad they're a part of you. You guys built. It's looking great, so I'm looking forward to seeing what else you guys have in here. Let's get it.
Let's get it on. Well, this is our noon class right now. It's pretty much an escape for people that go to work and want to train on their lunch hour. They come here. We have some good showers, great facility. So they come here, roll, get some exercise, because the cardio is phenomenal. In jiu-jitsu, it's like nothing else you could do to get that type of cardio. And the class today is a little small. Usually a lot of people in here during the noon class as well. But then you see the kickboxing bags here. This is where Professor Jarrod teaches his morning kickboxing class. Because that's cardio based as well, plus a lot of core exercise. He could better explain most of that. And then upstairs we just have a great training facility for weight training and strength and conditioning, which he'll walk you through that as well. So, Professor, let them know what you do in the morning here.
Sure, absolutely. So, like I said, right now it's like a jiu-jitsu class. These guys are doing some no-gi work. And then for the kickboxing is really a hybrid class. Where for me as an instructor, I like to focus on like the basics of boxing, the basics of kickboxing, so that the people actually learn what they're doing instead of just like, okay, go hit the bag like some other kickboxing studios do. And I hybrid it because we do like circuit training, we do a little bit of weightlifting, into like a full body strength and conditioning workout, plus learning the skills of the actual boxing and kickboxing. And so we get a lot of women in here, but men do the class as well. They, guys like to hit the bag, let some stress out. But like primarily women, and they love that type of class. They don't feel like they're going to a gym and they don't know what to do. They're guided through every step of every workout, every exercise, and they love it.
Here's the other thing. The other thing is, we all know that cardio is good for us, right? But what's better than doing cardio where you're actually learning something? You're actually learning how to defend yourself. So come in here, right? Because you learn how to hit the bag. You learn how to kick the bag. And the cardio is phenomenal compared to, okay, I'm going to run on a treadmill for an hour, but I'm not going nowhere.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
exactly.
I have a difficult time understanding running without moving.
Without moving around.
But get in here, and it helps you build your self-confidence, and it teaches you how to defend yourself.
Absolutely. Now, for beginners, what would you guys recommend? How many times should they start off with? Is there something that they have to do? I heard you guys say that it takes 30 days before you guys can get on the mats. Is there something you guys would recommend?
I would say for someone, and it depends, every individual is different. I would say a good starting point for someone to get involved in jiu-jitsu is start off twice a week. Or actually even better, start off by doing a couple private lessons with one of the black belts, with one of your instructors, so that you can kind of develop and kind of have a little bit easier time understanding the basic movements and moves. And then when it's going to make your transition into a group class a lot more, you're going to have a lot better experience transitioning into that, instead of just like, all right, jump in the class and you start seeing people doing rolls and stuff, and it can be intimidating for your first class. So that's why we like to guide everyone step by step from the second you sign up to your first class and beyond that.
Definitely.
And we actually offer that. You sign up, we give you the first 2 private lessons on us.
Okay,
because
gotcha.
we want you to get some of the fundamentals down.
Yeah.
Once you get some of the fundamentals down, then we expect you to come to class. And if it's a big class, then we'll move them upstairs with another black belt instructor or brown belt instructor that will help them get more comfortable with rolling and things like that. And after like 30 classes, we'll allow you to go on the mat if you want to. But here's the great thing about this whole thing. You go at your own pace.
Yes.
You don't have to compete against anybody here. Everybody here is part of your family. They're here to help you if you have any questions. And until you feel comfortable, don't roll. And if you never want to roll and you want to just do it to learn, that's okay too.
Yeah.
All right, so here we have our upstairs level, which you can see is a lot of functional weightlifting equipment. So like I said, we have a lot of professional athletes, so we wanted to give all of our students and our athletes a chance to kind of get everything that they need all in one spot. So you can see we have machines, we have cardio equipment, we have our hip thrust machine that is a plus for especially jiu-jitsu athletes to develop that core strength. And then we have our private mat area where we do private lessons, small group classes.
All right, so question, as far as working with athletes, let's say you get somebody who's like a football player.
Sure.
What are some of the things that you're looking for? What are some of the initial techniques
so
you want to teach them?
honestly, athletes can be really, really good to work with, but also really bad to work with, especially from a jiu-jitsu standpoint. Athletes tend to come in super strong in shape, and we'll try to compensate for the lack of knowledge and skill by using that strength and that explosion, which once you learn the techniques is a must. The highest level jiu-jitsu athletes today are super athletes. And so, but from a learning standpoint, when you have that strength, you want to use that strength.
Yes.
But in the beginning stages of jiu-jitsu, that's going to actually hurt your progress. So like for me, I'm a bigger guy, strong, I lift. My whole life, I was an athlete my whole life. When I first started jiu-jitsu, I had learned that was instilled in my head, like not to use strength. Yeah. And so I've focused on technique. And so I always give, oh wow, you're so big and strong, but you're not using it. And so once I started to really implement strength with my technique is when I started to see a huge progress. And Mike Cipriani was a big part of that too, because he really instilled in me like how to actually lift weights and stuff like that. So once I started lifting and being on a good regiment, like I saw my game really skyrocket, because now all my technique was sharp, but now I had that backup with that strength too. So it helped out a lot. But I love working with athletes because athletes, they pick things up fast. Yeah. So I don't have to sit there and explain too much. I can show it to them a few times and they pick it up fast, especially the ones who are open-minded enough to kind of turn that switch down a little bit and not just try to explode through everything. Yeah. So I love working with athletes, but like I said, it depends on the individual.
Yeah. Now, do you see the jiu-jitsu world, is it, because it seems like it's expanding, it's becoming pretty big.
I think it's one of the fastest growing sports right now.
Yeah, because now you're starting to see a little bit more locally.
Yes.
A lot of different sports, whether you're basketball, football, everybody now is starting to get into it. So from when you first started, what do you think could possibly be some of the biggest changes?
I think some of the biggest changes right now is obviously it's becoming a little bit more mainstream, so it's getting a lot more attention. And for me, I truly believe that like everyone can train jiu-jitsu. Whether you want to be a high-level competitor or you want to learn self-defense. I truly believe that every individual needs to learn the self-defense aspect of jiu-jitsu. Yeah. Because, hopefully we don't ever have to use it, but at least we have that knowledge and those skills if we need to use it.
Yeah.
And so that's the biggest thing for me is like everyone, especially women, small children, like jiu-jitsu does give you skills to be able to defend yourself against a larger attacker. And that's something that, you know, you need from when you're a kid all the way through you're a senior citizen.
Yeah. Yeah.
The older we get, the more we need jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, pretty much. So now I've heard you're gonna be showing us a little bit of
yes, I'm gonna show you guys a
today.
little cool technique that's like a kind of a simple, basic self-defense move that's I think everyone who's watching will be able to kind of understand and be able to apply if they put some training behind it.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, let's do it. So I'm just gonna show you guys a little basic technique. It's actually a series of techniques. So something that you guys can relate to. You're kind of in an argument with someone. Person tries to throw kind of a haymaker or a sucker punch. We're gonna defend against it, and we're gonna take the person down, and we're gonna finish with a nice arm bar for you guys. All right. So first thing that we always want to try to do is anytime that we're engaging in any kind of an argument or we're unsure of a person or situation, make sure you don't have your hands in your pockets, hands behind your back. Keep your hands in front of your face like you're talking with your hands. Now, this doesn't look as violent or as confrontational than if I just get in a fighting stance. So what I'm gonna be doing here is just like, listen man, I don't know what your problem is, you know, I'm sorry, whatever the situation is. But now if the person tries to progress the conflict by coming at you, that's when we're gonna defend ourselves. So my hands are up, we're arguing, whatever the situation is, and the person tries to throw a strike. I'm stepping forward so that I interrupt the strike. My hands are going around the bicep, hooking the tricep on both sides. So we'll turn here so you can see, because I don't want to block one and then still eat that other one. So I'm going forward with both hands. Again, this is step one. Back this way, one more time. One. Now keep your head low, and now we're gonna step to the side, pulling this arm under our arm and controlling the hip. Now once we get in this position here, we have the chance, the person's probably gonna be struggling to get away from us, so we're just gonna stay connected to the person here. Once we feel the timing, we're gonna step in. My hip's gonna go to the outside. I'm gonna lift and rotate him over into our hip throw. Now, once we take the person down, we can evaluate the situation, whether we're just gonna sit here and control the person or whether we're gonna progress into a finish with the arm bar.
Guys, I appreciate you for having me, teaching me, showing me, you know, getting the understanding of what you guys offer. Can we tell the audience, where can we find you? Can we find on social media, on the website? Sure. You know, how are some of the ways that we can find you?
Yeah, you can find us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, at gamblersjujitsuclub.com. You can find my partner Mike here at Mike Cipriani on Instagram, and myself at Coach Jarrod BJJ. And if you're looking for information about our facility, about any of our classes or programs, you can go to our website, gamblersjujitsuclub.com.
Guys, you heard it here first. Get here, you will enjoy it.
Nobody moves, nobody gets hurt.